Welcome to The First Turn. I'm your host, Hyena, and today, Llama and I are talking about This Week in Warhammer. If you like what you hear, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share, or let us know if there's something you'd like to hear us talk about. Alright, let's get to it.
Well, I've got Nova coming up here. I'll be attending. I'll be there. I fly out Tuesday night, and I'll be there for the preview event Wednesday. Hopefully, whatever it is they described, I'll get to see some hands-on stuff. Mm-hmm. Whatever I'm allowed to provide in terms of material for it, I will. I can call in maybe Saturday if we want to do an episode. But super excited for that and to see new releases. Again, I hope that a part of the preview event is not the Kill Team leak that we've already seen. But if you were to try to embody this in a conversion of your own, to make like a Perturabo model, let's say.
Yep.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't already designed something that they will bring in plastic someday. I feel like all the Primarchs will at some point be plastic.
You tell me they haven't worked on the rest of the Primarchs already and designed them?
Yeah, they had to.
Everything they're going to bring back. I almost feel like we've seen little tidbits of what they had planned already. I mean, we had the... look at the Logan Grimnar model. Are you telling me that wasn't originally like a Russ in design?
Maybe.
It's a dude, heroically enormous guy, walking down a hill with two giant wolves. Like that screams Russ to me.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, give him an axe instead of a sword and give him
Maybe in Terminator armor instead of whatever.
Yeah. You know, whatever. Like stuff like that. Or the new chapter master for Ravengard. Are you telling me you didn't like kind of design that to be Corvus Corax? Because he looks like, if you told me that was a Corvus Corax new Primarch model, but like, yeah, I believe you. Well, that new model looks fucking cool.
It does. It's most people have picked it as their favorite now of the new Marines. Now, if those weren't originally Primarch designs, what it still could be is if they were working on it in the R&D team, and you knew they commissioned artists and they're doing sketches and then figuring out how it would look as a model, they might have taken those and then made these with those designs. But it also will further reinforce the aesthetic before that Primarch comes out.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, because like for Ravengard, for example, the Shrike is fine, but
the Shrike was so boring.
But he didn't reinforce the Ravengard aesthetic.
Right.
And this new Chapter Master absolutely does.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree. So wild. Yeah. Oh, it's so good looking. But you're right. The Shrike didn't scream Ravengard. Like he screamed Shrike because he looked so much like the old model. Right? Yep. They updated him to Primaris, and they gave him a jump pack that was unique and whatever. It's like, sure, fine. But it was like, that's probably the weakest chapter master I've seen.
Yeah. Whereas now that he's just a captain, okay.
Yeah. Right. And now you got this new guy. It's like,
that blings chapter master. Right.
Cool. I mean, he kind of embodied, like, what do you think about like the Phoenix Lords? Right, when they got their glow up, he looks like a Phoenix Lord type version of a Ravengard captain, you know, like just a little bit bigger, a little bit better, a little bit cooler, got things hanging off of him, whatever.
Now, they still haven't given us an Iron Hands chapter master, but
do they need one?
They have one in lore, but no. Yeah. Basically, though, he was similar. He was an Iron Father, similar to Pharos. I don't know why they made Pharos and didn't just make him Gal Vorbeck or whatever his name was. I don't remember. Or do one of the brother captains who were dreadnoughts.
Yeah, maybe they'll give him a unique dreadnought. Yeah. That'd be super cool.
But they did do it with these. You know, it was the same with like Casaro. He was only a company captain, and even whatever the Salamanders one was that came out last time. But now you bring back Vulcan Heston and you blinged him up a bit. Like chapter masters need to look more, but reinforce the aesthetic of the chapter.
Well, the one with the hammer. I forget his name.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's just not that relevant, I guess. But again, I think it easily prepares people for an aesthetic of if that Primarch comes back.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if all of them were back at some point. And how many would we have in total if they did?
8.
There'd be 8.
Yeah. Oh my God, 8. 8 points.
8 points.
No, because the only two that have died technically were Sanguinius,
Pharos,
and so there'd be 7. And then
Conrad and Horus,
and then
on
mystery,
the other side.
But there was also 2 mystery ones.
2 missing ones.
So it was technically only 18 legions, not 20.
Yes.
And so each side gets 7.
Yep. Okay. That would have been hilarious.
Because we get Lehman.
We'd get Lehman, we get Dorn, we get Vulcan, we get Corvus.
And I'm sure those 3 are still around.
And Jagatai Khan.
Right? Jagatai's in the Webways. Those 4 are definitely still around. The only one that is a question mark is Corvus Corax, if he would ever come back, because we know he's alive and he's harassing.
We know
Lorgar.
he's alive.
But would he ever come back from the realm of chaos, which he's just hanging out in? Who knows?
The only one we don't know his status of is Dorn.
But we have. He died off screen.
Yeah.
And in a movie, when someone dies off screen, you never believe that they're actually dead. It's like, oh man, he died. All we found is this hand. It's like, well, he must be dead then. It's like, no, that's him faking his death. That's what that is.
Yeah,
Dude's still around. He's going to come back, and he's going to have an Imperial fist. He's going to have a new hand. Doesn't need that one anymore. It's going to be a big mechanical power fist or something.
It's 1974. He faked his death to collect insurance, and he left. That's all. And and then on the Chaos side, we, the ones we do know are dead, which are Conrad and Horus. But like the rest of them, Alfarius is a mystery always.
Yep.
We know Lorgar's alive.
Yep.
We know Perturabo's alive. Yep. We know what else? No, that's it. Yeah. And then of course the 4 that we have. So it's got to be the case that they plan to release them all, and they might slow drip. That might be an end of each edition type, which is a bummer, kind of, but because I'll be 80 years old before they give them all to us.
Yeah.
But
but is that really all the Chaos ones?
There's 7.
Yeah.
Total. So there's only 3 left.
Lorgar, Perturabo, and
Alfarius, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. 7 and 7.
I think they could absolutely bring back Ferrus Manus. I don't think there's a world where it's inconceivable.
Well, so now that you say that,
they decapitated him, but look at the Necrons.
Well, let's circle back
Okay.
to where we started.
Yeah.
So in the Siege of Terra series, first of all, they had something in the 40k side where it was like Legion of the Damned or something showed up, and there was an instance where the aspect of Fulgrim or Ferrus was at their head,
right?
And they claimed that it embodied the Emperor's wrath. And maybe in the Siege of Terra series, when Sanguinius boarded the Spirit of Vengeance, Horus' ship, and he can't find him, and he's going through this maze of the ship, he encounters Ferrus, and he knows unmistakably it's not Chaos fooling him. He knows this is Ferrus, and Ferrus even talks to him like, "I'm stuck here." Like, nope, it's me, but I'm stuck here. Like, and Sanguinius, well, can't you fight? And he's like, I can't. And so it could be that he is trapped in the warp when he was beheaded. There's long been speculation that the Primarchs were created because of a bargain the Emperor made with warp entities that might not be there anymore. Mm-hmm. Maybe he helped suppress them in exchange for power. And so maybe this is where they go, short of Horus, who was obliterated. But like when they die, they get stuck in the warp.
Yeah.
And especially if they hadn't ascended yet. Like, because we've seen Mortarion and Angron and them die multiple times, but they eventually come back. Maybe Ferrus, like Sanguinius maybe now, they're just stuck somewhere.
I could see Sanguinius coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't think anything's off the table.
No.
To be fair. Like, I think a new Sanguinius would be amazing on the table. But like I said, like, even though Ferrus died first and his death was meaningful because it started the whole thing.
It did, yeah.
I could still see him coming back.
Yep.
Honestly. Because it's like, well, I mean, you think about him as a character, he's like his whole namesake, the Iron Hand. He leads the Iron Hands. His Ferrus Manus is like basically Latin/Spanish for Iron Hand. Plus the fact that he was essentially infected with like necrodermis, which was like the living metal that Necrons use to reknit themselves. Yep. Means that like losing a head, you think that's enough? I mean, there's magic at play, right? Demons, soul sealing, whatever you want to like consider as part of the death as well. But if something like his soul was able to be freed from wherever it's in limbo or stuck somewhere, like maybe his body could reattach itself and repatch itself.
I mean, when it comes down to it, the physical body of a Primarch, like that of the Emperor, might be meaningless, right. And when you consider the battle that he and Fulgrim had, Fulgrim himself didn't even really do it. It was the sword which had a demon in it, right. Which was like, I need this sacrifice because it'll free me. Mm-hmm. And so that could just be some bargain that demon, because demons themselves are trapped, right? And so that was like some bargain itself had. So Ferrus' soul could just be there, and who knows? Its body could be I wouldn't be surprised if you bring them all, short of maybe Horus back.
Right. If all but Horus came back, I'd be fine with that.
Yep.
Even Conrad, however you choose to bring him back.
Why not?
Sure.
And Conrad, that'd be pretty cool. He was a neat one like that. And he's had interactions with so many of them. Mm-hmm. it's funny because he tortured Vulcan over and over again. He had legendary battles with both the Lion and Guilliman, and now the Lion and Guilliman are back. But he was terrified of Corvus. He, for some reason, was terrified of one guy who could genuinely be more Shadow than him. So there's dynamics you create that way. I don't know.
We've kind of talked about that though, about how like, and this I think also plays into just the mirrored aspects, right? We were talking about in the beginning of this. We'll bring it back around. That maybe these chaos deities, the 8 of them are counteractive to one another.
Yeah.
And so that's why they get no traction, right? Is Tzeentch is anathema to whatever. Like they hate each other, right? Khorne and Tzeentch are at odds with each other. Nurgle and Slaanesh, whatever. Like no one likes, the perfection of like Slaanesh and that pursuit is counteractive to like the decay of Nurgle, whatever. Maybe they work against each other and they can't get anywhere. In the same way that the Primarchs, I feel like every loyalist has their counter in the chaos. They don't get anywhere because they are the same, but just good or evil.
Yeah,
essentially,
And it's funny is like while we talked that a lot of the Primarchs have overlapping qualities or embody some aspect of the Emperor, they usually also had one brother who was very similar to them.
Right.
Now there are exceptions because we have 2 missing.
Yep.
2 that are gone.
So there's probably a pair there that don't have a counter. Like I don't think Sanguinius necessarily has a counter.
Well, also there's an interesting there's 2 that I think. So Magnus doesn't really have
True. Yep.
One that because he's this all craving of knowledge, highly psychic, more so than any of the other ones, and we don't see his counterbalance really. Some speculated that one of those brothers could have been that, opposite to that or similar. We see somewhere there's overlapping in more than one. We talked last week, I think, about where it's like, well, you have these 3 that operate in shadows, but in different ways. One, the Raven Guard, who are legitimately shadows. The Night Lords, who can move in the shadow, but they're more like terror tactic, dark. And then, of course, Alpha Legion, which is subterfuge, so they infiltrate. And then you have some where there's not an opposite. Like Angron, we don't even know what he was about. He never got the chance. So, but then some pointed to how Ferris had a massive temper also. And so...
But I feel like Ferris and Perturabo were counter to one another.
They could be
an aspect, right? One likes
both the machine, right?
Or maybe it was Vulcan was counter to Ferris. No, not Ferris. Perturabo. Like it's kind of, it is weird. And when you boil it down, you could probably draw the strongest lines you can think of, and it probably mirrors pretty well because it's like it's not perfect, right? I don't think it's ever going.
One interesting parallel I saw was actually someone did between Lorgar and the Lion. And I was trying to figure out why, and it was how monistic both legions are.
Interesting. That is... Yeah. Huh.
And while one embraces everything spiritual in Lorgar, the other is like a hunter of all of that.
Right.
And he's
got his own code. He's got chivalry.
Yeah.
That's...
But then both are steeped in secrets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it was... well, anyway, with the 2 being gone, we don't know where there are misses or imbalances. But... You're talking about, these 4 are at pulling against each other, always at odds with each other.
You know what? I think Sanguinius' counter might have been Horus. That's why it was such a sad death.
It's also why those 2 were so close prior.
Yeah. Ooh. That's
because the Emperor at some point, or Malcador at some point, revealed that Sanguinius was the other option for War Master.
Right.
Like, yeah. They were both, they epitomized a few more aspects of the Emperor than the others. So you think of like, and Horus by virtue of being the first found, and he got to spend 30 years with Dad by himself, but and Sanguinius, the symbol of hope. And what was it I was trying to think of with that? They embody more aspects of him, and so the fight with each other ended up really important and really sad. So they could have been the opposites of each other, and that's why they both had to go, kind of, But I think you're right. I think that doesn't mean that any of these ones couldn't come back in story if it's written well enough.
Right, like the Sanguinor is a spirit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they don't even know.
He's not even
they don't even know what he's there
for.
It's
like a physical entity. The Sanguinor is like basically the spirit of Sanguinius, essentially, is what it kind of is.
They think it was that or the first chapter master ever.
Okay.
But it's a spirit of something ancient in the Blood Angels, right? Yeah. And typifies the fact that they all relive Sanguinius' death in their mind over and over again. Yeah.
So I don't know. There's ways that you can do it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think anyone's written out.
Nope.
I don't think anyone's, you can.
I think you're right.
I think they're like literally, well, but maybe Horus
Yeah.
is fair game. So
Yeah. Yeah, it would have to only be Horus.
I mean, we didn't think Gilliman was ever going to come back, and he was the first
I
loyalist.
didn't think any of them would come back.
Because Gilliman's like, oh, he's on his deathbed because he's poisoned and he'll never be cured.
he's stuck in this weird stasis chamber.
Yeah, so he's never coming back because he's basically, as soon as you wake him up, he dies.
Yeah.
Where they're like, no, we fixed it with Eldar magic. It's like,
Eldar magic and Belisarius Call.
What?
Call was like, well, I can make his armor
Yeah.
do this thing, and then she's like, I can bring his soul back here, and then
Yeah.
it was like, oh,
Oh, all right.
okay, yeah, they could. You never know.
But I would love it. I mean, I think we're eventually going to get another Constantine Valdor because he's kind of in there. But we were thinking
He's
about
so
like,
cool.
They're doing these like character boxes like Gaunt's Ghosts and stuff, and they usually like expand these really cool character units by doing like a Black Library event for it. I could absolutely see a new Eisenhorn warband, including Alfarius. Like that's
Or one that people look at like,
it's like that's how you bring Alfarius back.
Yeah.
I think, and then they confirm it's like, yes, this actually is
Yep.
the Primarch Alfarius.
Yep.
That would be so funny.
Because if you're talking about someone who could infiltrate anything,
Yeah.
it's him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like this is what he's
They
doing.
even talked about like,
what's Alfarius doing? He's just part of the Inquisition.
yeah,
What?
the Alpha Legion all have some of that skill, but Alfarius more so than any. It was like he could make people believe that he was just a dude.
Yeah.
Or appear. But then it was like there's hints at this particular Alpha Legionnaire in Eisenhorn's group where there's like books where he's fighting things that an Astartes can't beat and he's beating it easily. It's like, that's like Primarch level shit right there. So, yeah.
It'd be super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Now, on the model side, we've had weeks now, and we haven't talked about this much, of rumor engines that they've shown us. And I think
it's heading towards Sylvaneth. I'm going to throw out the right
well,
away, by the way.
it could be. And the thing is, the rumor engines for the last 2 years in particular have really been hard to read because they support so many games now. That is just, and they Photoshop or cut out whatever's at the background or attached to it, so you're just seeing one piece.
Yeah.
And so you don't really know. When they just show a belt pouch, it's like, that could be anything.
Right. But no,
But
I mean,
we've
think
seen some new ones like that. The tail of a worm that was
like
like
I don't know. It was kind of bug. I can absolutely see that being
what else would that be other than Ash Wastes?
Or
Like
Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth, yeah.
right? Like bugs and spites and stuff like that. There was a fox that was half wood, made of branches.
Yep.
There was like a hoof. There was a haunch. There was a spear. Like I think there's all kinds of stuff that we've seen that like kind of leads me to think Sylvaneth. There was a spear that was kind of like it had like a gemstone in it, kind of an Eldari gemstone.
Okay.
But I don't think it's an Eldar thing. I think it's a Sylvaneth thing.
More so maybe they're getting a big
I could see
expansion.
That'd be cool. We have speculated that they're ramping up the Kurnothi side of things, the satyr / centaur, deer centaur people.
We hope.
I could see them getting like a box set similar to Death Rattle or Dark Oath, that kind of thing. So I mean that's where my money's at.
Yeah, for those who want to look, I mean this thing literally just looks like
It's like a grub.
A caterpillar. It's got that segmented body with some horns at the back. It's hard to tell the scale from that, although based on the paint job, I'd wager that's a little bigger than, because they usually don't put that kind of detail into the shine of the hooks or a specular highlight on a bubble unless it's bigger. I'm hoping it's not like a freaking endless spell or something or a manifestation. Please be a unit.
Yep, I agree. Or just one character riding it.
Yeah. But even that would be better than if it's a spell.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We've talked, of course, at length for a long time now about where we think ranges could expand. But if we were going along the same veins here, I don't think it's going to be too soon on the Age of Sigmar side because we just got Hatchet and we don't even have a release date for them yet.
Correct.
We do know they're doing a giveaway for some of it where if you report your Age of Sigmar and your Spearhead battles, you could win some of that stuff early. But on the 40k side, we are getting close to the end of 10th edition, right? I mean,
I have to be, right? Because it's been long enough.
They've been doing them in 3-year cycles now, and while there's still a couple of codexes dropping here, we are at a spot where I have to imagine they're going to announce soon, either later this year or maybe as late as Adepticon next year, like the next edition and what that looks like. And if so, we could be due for a Primarch or one of these payoffs.
Yeah.
And if so, who would you think would be next? Or what would you like to be
I'd
next?
like to see...
Two different ones. What do you think will be next? What would you like to be next?
I think we're going to get, for the next Primarch, Perturabo.
Really?
Vashtor. Per
Okay.
level. I think we're gonna get what I'd like to see is word bearer. I want to see Lorgar.
Lorgar. They could expand some
I think that'd be super
new
cool.
plastics for them. I don't think they'll ever separate the undivided ones from the main codex, because then you don't have Codex Space Marines or Codex Chaos Space Marines if you just make them all separate.
Right.
And Abaddon needs to have something. Lorgar, though. So you don't think the next one will be Loyalist? You think we'll get one more?
I mean, yeah. No, with how Space Wolves got their release, I don't think we're going to see a...
You don't think Russ is on the docket?
I don't think Russ is next. I mean, we could see Khan. We absolutely could see... That would be kind of cool.
Well, what's interesting is the ones we don't have a Primarch for are all each getting a new model right now.
That's a good point. Who didn't get one then?
So Salamanders, Iron Hands, White Scars, Imperial Fist all just got a new model. I don't know if they're out yet, but they all just got one. So the Primarch could be for any one of those. You could really have it be...
Was there a chapter, though, that didn't get an update there? One that they missed?
Among the Divergents? No.
Okay.
And then among the ones in the Codex, yes, Crimson Fists didn't get one.
No. They don't have one.
We don't have an update. We don't have an updated plastic for Pedro.
It's true.
But
he's not we're talking Primarchs.
I know, but they do still exist as far as I know. I don't think they were wiped out again. I thought the Indominus Crusade reinforced them a little bit, or supposedly. But so it could be any one of those Primarchs, any of them that we don't have yet on the Loyalist side. I don't know which one would be most likely. I really don't. A Dorn model might be easiest. Maybe they're afraid of something. So Lehman Russ, people have speculated, has been in the works for a while, but I think we've talked about, well, how do you do like you did with the Lion, where you just age him and show that he's been through some shit, but he still looks unmistakably Loyalist,
right?
Or do you mutate him?
Right.
I think with Corvus, you're in a similar boat. Do you show that he's been Nightcrawler in the warp this whole time, or do you make him just look Loyalist who's seen some shit?
Right.
Whereas with Dorn, I think it's easy. You replace his hand, you have him with his chainsword, he comes out and he's Dorn.
It's kind of a big what's his name? Torgadon.
Oh, Torgaradon?
Yeah.
Basically.
You know?
Yeah, you make him the size of the Gilliman or whatever lion model.
Did Iron Fists the Iron Fist get a character in that 5?
Iron Hands?
Iron Hands?
Yeah.
Damn it.
They did.
Hands. Okay.
They got a
Yep. With like the crane.
Yep, they've got 2 now.
Okay.
They've got 2 now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a toss up.
And Heston's out. So.
I still think it's going to be another Chaos one though. I mean, even though we got Fulgrim not too long ago.
I don't mind the idea of keeping Chaos ahead, because it always makes it the hour of midnight feel imminent. I'd be interested to see. What's funny is I almost feel like it's limited some of the hobbyists' ability, because we never used to have Primarch models. GW really didn't have the production ability to make them like they are now, and so people used to just make them. But now it's like, well, why make them when you know they're probably coming, and it'll be great because all of them have been pretty cool so far.
Tell Forge World that.
Yeah.
Why even bother?
Why even bother?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something to chew on, that's for sure.
So we talked briefly about what we expect at Nova preview event. So do we want to lock in our official predictions for the preview?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it of what interesting, creative, groundbreaking idea. I haven't come up with anything.
I almost think it's tougher now
than
it used to be because A, we're caught up on all the roadmaps. B, they do release so much stuff that I can't think of what else.
Right. Everything else that could have been has kind of been showed off that we had an idea for. A couple weeks ago, we had a prediction about Jump Pack Chaos Marines.
Raptors and Talons,
And they got paid off
Yep.
with Kill Team before this Nova event even happened.
Yep.
I thought we were going to see that here. So that idea's out, even though we called it kind of, obviously it wasn't corn, but it was still Jump Pack Marines of two kinds for Chaos. So it's it's tough to think of what's next.
Yeah.
Right? You generally think what army hasn't gotten anything in a while?
That's usually the hope.
Maybe we'll point towards them. Dark Eldar, I think, are in need of a massive
They've got to
update.
be due.
I did notice on their website when I was looking through their model ranges to see what they've got, because I was trying to do a conversion for an elf unit for Age of Sigmar, and I was thinking that one or more of the witch cult sort of side of Dark Eldar could have been a great start, like a base model for this conversion I wanted to do, or like the guys who are running on the Green Goblin gliders,
the Hellions,
or one of the Cabalites that's hanging off the side of the Raider. One of them was gonna accomplish what I wanted, but when I was looking at that model line, there's a bunch of stuff that's no longer on there. They've cut a lot, like pretty much everything that was Finecast is no longer listed on the website.
Good.
But that means to me either A, they're going to get cut in the next
permacut,
codex,
yeah,
or they're re-releasing some replacements for at least some of them. I don't think we're going to get another Court of the Archon. I think all those models are toast. Right, we're not going to get the weird Medusa
and snake people and
like all that stuff.
Little weird dogs,
the Beastmasters and the Chimera whatever dogs. I think all that's going to be gone. Like we're going to cut that, but I do think we'll get new homunculus coven stuff.
Oh yeah,
right. Like we'll get.
Do you think Esdrubal Vect is coming ever?
Rax and Grotesques. I think Vect would be a cool addition. That army does not have a centerpiece.
It doesn't
in any way.
Nope.
They lost all their cool stuff, right?
They've got boats and planes, but as far as like,
but even their really big cool boat that they had
from Forge World,
was the Tantalus, the twin hulled one. I forget you call that kind of boat. It's a thing. A twin hulled boat is a schooner. I don't know, whatever. The Tantalus though, the super heavy raider, got cut. So it's gone. So it's like that army really doesn't have anything centerpiecey, right? Like, oh, you've got one named character, maybe two. So there's the So you got the witch, which is Lilith
Hesperex,
not a centerpiece.
Nope.
You've got the incubus guy, which is
Drazar, former Phoenix Lord.
Yep. Not a centerpiece.
Nope.
I think you've still got technically the named homunculus guy,
Urian Rickarth.
Yeah, not a centerpiece.
But he's Finecast.
So they might replace him.
We've also seen a sprue for one of the other females, but again, infantry.
She's gonna be like a witch or something.
Infantry.
Yeah.
So
what's the big centerpiecey thing that they're gonna have for their army? Because they don't have one.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe a giant homunculus grotesque thing.
Maybe Urian has mutated himself.
Yeah. But
it would be cool if you had Vect on the dais.
Yeah.
Like he's been in the lore forever.
I mean, you've got the Silent King. I mean, that'd be
similar
it'd be
to that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could see Dark Eldar getting an update.
Okay.
Is it going to happen now?
So preview 40k event. Maybe they'll show us
Dark Eldar.
Drukhari.
Yep, Drukhari.
I actually am going to say that I think the kill team reveal will be the Catan Shard of the Nightbringer. Like, well, this leaked, but this was our preview event thing for kill team, not 40k.
Okay.
Which I don't care. It's kill team. Do you think they'll announce Warcry?
No.
Okay. Underworlds we can never predict because we never know what faction they're going to pull from and what weird thing they're going to come up with as an alternate design for that. So Horus Heresy, what they'll show us is either for Legions Imperialis or Horus Heresy proper. Here's 18 more things that are going to be made plastic and are going to eat up all the production space and time. So Age of Sigmar, what do we think they're going to show us? I think we'll see 2 books with 2 models.
Yeah, a book and a model for 2 armies. What armies though? I think we're going to see...
We actually don't know on the roadmap, do we?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sylvanas one they show.
Don't get all the elves out of the way. Bone Reapers.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Finish up Death. Get them out of the way.
One character.
Yep.
Some derpy guy.
Another foot hero.
Yep.
And then their book. They'll lose a new kit that they got, so they'll cut
for no reason.
They'll cut the Morghast or something from End Times. They'll get them out of there. It'll be something stupid like that. Oh, I would hate that, but no, I think Bone Reapers and I think Sylvaneth. That's what I'm gonna go with.
As far as a big Sylvaneth release would be okay. I'd be okay seeing that. Anything in AOS that's more than a character in a book, I get excited about. So that's fine. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just did 2 books, 2 models, the end, and Sylvaneth ends up coming like a month later. They show us for some reason, because sometimes they time those weird. What a disappointing preview event that would be if it was just like, here's Drukhari and a bunch of crap, and then because then if they're going to give us hands-on with some of these previewed models at Nova, which is what they described,
then it's like, why bother?
I could see it's just like some of the Drukhari models or ones that would be in a starter box, but not the full release. And you get to look at them.
All right, so that's a meta call there, right? If they're going to get you hands-on time with the new models, there better be some actual models releasing then.
Yeah.
So maybe not booking a model.
Maybe.
Hashit did come out, just announced recently, but I could see a small expansion to one of the armies. I mean, I want an update to Sylvaneth.
Or I wonder if that'll be the case when they say new models have been in. I wonder if it'll be ones we've seen but aren't released yet. So I wonder if it'll be the new kill team. It'll be the new hash it, and that'll just be there. There's me expecting the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, the event's free, but
Sylvaneth could receive an update. Because like we said, the
rumor engines point to some Sylvaneth-y things.
Yep. So the Centaur people and the Satyrs and that side of it would be super cool. I also really want to see, like I said, the Malarian side get paid off, which is more Dark Elves. That
might be a minute, though.
I would love to see more High Elves get paid off in the form of Tyrion's Elves.
Will they give us new... for Lumineth, yeah. I was going to say, as far as Malarian's Elves, I feel like...
They might be in Daughters of Cain.
If they put them in Daughters of Cain, yes. If they don't,
right.
I don't think we'll get 2 new factions in one edition. But, yeah.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers, if they get an update, I would love to see more stuff released.
They need a lot more.
Because if you truly look at their roster, they have nothing.
They have one infantry unit.
They have one infantry unit. They've got one cavalry unit. They've got one heavy infantry. The elite guys, they make 2 kits. And then they've got one ported over from Old World, which is basically those guys, but a little bit bigger.
And then character. Yeah.
There's the one support monster.
Yeah.
There's a catapult. That's the whole army. They have no like shooting units. They've got no rank and file elites.
One
it's weak.
Infantry
it's
unit.
It's a weak army.
One infantry
It's so one-dimensional. But again, a lot of their armies need updates. Ogres need a full range refresh.
Ogre Maw tribes need it bad.
Fire Slayers need some kind of an update. We need an announcement of what's happening with dwarfs.
Okay, but of all of this that AOS needs, what do we think we're going to see?
There's a lot of it that they need.
What do we think we're going to see?
Bone Reapers. I think it's only going to be one. Book and a model.
Book and a model for Bone Reapers.
That's all they're going to show.
And that's it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it.
Nothing else.
Nope.
Yep. Nope. What'll happen is there will be some, hey, we're still celebrating 10 years of Age of Sigmar, and then they randomly show it on a Warcom article, and then it gets buried 13 seconds later by 2 Kill Team articles.
A Kill Team article and a tactics for how to play Blood Bowl for a team that came out 8 years ago. Yeah. We've seen that
for the Amazons, right?
Like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yep. You just buried this new Age of Sigmar release in 2 useless articles.
So yeah, I don't expect much from Age of Sigmar, and like I said, specifically because we did get the Horns of Hashut last time.
Yeah, and I unfortunately feel like they're treating that like this will hold you over for a while.
It's usually like it's every other they get something actually important.
And now that we know they have more preview events every year, they have to spread those out a bit. I guess having more games helps with that too. They can fill it in. So if you also often take 40k models and convert them to Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So what's one you're looking at to do that with soon, and why?
I have a couple of things in the works already.
Okay.
A couple of conversions I'm doing for like kind of centerpiece characters and like named characters. I was looking at inspiration from the Total War.
Okay.
Mostly because the model for like Valkia the Bloody got cut.
Yep.
Legends or whatever. I'm actually converting one for her. I'm converting a new Celestin Prime, and I'm doing that out of a kind of a sacrilegious kind of thing. I took a Lion model,
Lionel Johnson,
and I'm turning him into a Celestin Prime.
Okay.
So there's that. Okay. And then I really like the Slaneshi Demon Prince from Total War. Azazel.
Oh, Azazel, yeah, the angel-looking one.
Super cool. Is that his name Azazel?
Yeah.
He's like the laughing Demon Prince. I'm converting him. I'm just using straight up the normal Demon Prince kit, but I think you can make a pretty good conversion to make him. So I'm working on those 3 things. I mean, a couple of those are kind of 40k models being converted in, because I mean, Lion definitely is, but the Demon Prince kit is also split between
pretty
the 2.
Versatile. Yep.
So there's 2 slam dunk ones that I'm looking at there, and then what else was I doing? I was actually going to grab some of the old world models from Cathay to actually convert some characters that will soon be legends, because that's what happens every time I try to convert. I'm going to do a sorceress on a black dragon.
That will end up getting legends.
And,
yep. When cities come out,
that'll be legends, 100%.
Yep.
But I still want to do it, and I'll use, like I said, the Miao Ying one.
I'd be half tempted to, even though we have good-looking Dark Oath Marauders now, and they do look great, and it's a super versatile kit. that you can really make a lot of different looks with. I still could see taking some of the Jade Guard or whatever, the Cathayan ones, put them on rounds, give them a few chaosy bits, and then you get a different look for some group following the Dark Oath.
They could be the Age of Sigmar models too.
Yep.
They can do a lot of things.
Yep. Everything looks better on rounds.
I know it does. And then the other thing I was thinking about doing, let me think. There was one other thing I was working on. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I'm also working on turning. Well, I got other plans too. Making all of those Skaven regiments of renown out of everyone. Everyone is a rat ogre. I'm working on that.
So every regiment of renown that Skaven can take, you will eventually convert into some form of rat ogres.
Yeah, exactly. I'm absolutely going to do that. And then I was already mocking up plans to do a Nagash version of the Nightbringer for.
Oh wow!
If you want to bring that in my ghost army,
Night Haunt.
Yeah. So he would because I would leave the face off of it. I think even though the face looks really good on the Nightbringer, you'd make it an empty hood. So it's kind of and then 100% a gash stand-in for Night Haunt. And then I was actually working on my Age of Sigmar rosters, and I want to run a devoted to Sigmar heavy army.
Okay.
But that requires you to bring a lot of the flagellants, which are really old really
models,
bad plastic models.
Yep.
But I think there are some kits like dudes in trench coats and things like that from Necromunda that I actually want to convert into flagellants.
Okay.
To make my no armor, just normal dudes. It's the warband that's got the really makeshift weapons and they're wearing nooses. It's like they're in really tattered clothing wearing nooses.
Huh.
That would be the guys I'd turn into flagellants.
Not Delac.
Delac are the creepy bald guys in trench coats.
Oh.
It's the the Zealot one, the Zealot warband. I forget what they're called.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that was a conversion I wanted to make. Because they are. I think there's a couple lists you can run with the new Pontifex Zenestra, because her new version is really good. But you run a ton of flagellants with them because they trade up into pretty much anything. So if not them actually doing damage, they reflect damage when they die. So a 10-man unit reflects with her nearby 5 damage, 5 mortal wounds when they get killed, and for 80 points, doing 5 mortal wounds is pretty substantial. So I was thinking about doing that. And it's that'd be a kind of fun list. You run 3 blocks of 20 of them for 240 points. No, 480 points.
Yeah.
61. Yeah, 480. And you could pretty much take down anyone's elite unit.
Trade up.
Yeah.
Trade up.
So that was kind of my plan. So I've got 5 or 6 projects I'm working on.
Yeah. I don't. Well, that's not true. But it's mostly just painting projects. I've got tutorial videos I'm working on. One is with that Morlock the Wolf guy, which is a Chimera figure that I'm working on to do some tutorials. One of which may end up published in a thing. More on that later. And then, of course, I've actually started, I think, on some of my Golden Demon projects, although those will remain secret for the time being.
So your kind of mentality for doing Golden Demon projects, I mean, obviously keep it secret, keep it safe, but also like to choose less assuming models.
Yep.
And paint them well. You don't want to grab a named character. You don't want to grab a heroic posed captain or something and paint that up for because it's already in the pose. It's posing for a competition already.
Yeah, and so there's a couple of myths out there about Golden Demon. A lot of people will be like, well, they want to see the newest thing, so whatever the newest thing is, paint that up. And it's I think the way the awards are given out every year, if not fully, at least somewhat disprove that idea. I don't think there's a leaning towards more awards going to the newest stuff. In fact, sometimes when people take a really old thing and then dress it up, I mean, Albert Moreto Font is notorious for finding a really old metal model and then dressing it up to look more modern and then just painting it amazing and then winning something. So I don't think that's a key. I do like taking less assuming ones that we haven't seen a ton of, whether it's I take a model that exists, convert it a bit, and then say choose a faction people aren't familiar with, or just simply grabbing a model that I don't see a lot of.
Like a single infantry. I mean, you did
Yep.
that with one of your Votan guys, as you
Yep.
chose just a normal. I forget what the unit's called, but just normal like.
Just the
line
regular
ship.
guys, yeah. And just took the little sergeant
You didn't
guy.
take the captain. You didn't take the guy with the big metal
Nope.
hammer and the face mask, and no, you just normal
Yep.
guy.
Yeah, and it finalist that year. It won the gold in the Gen Con General that year. And maybe that hurt me by not picking something a little more elaborate. But I've always preferred that, just when it's, because I like the idea of creating something they haven't seen yet, and sometimes the less assuming stuff is that. Whereas, there have been 1,001 great-looking Dantes, for example. So, like, to grab one and then go to do that again, what is it going to be? NMM Gold? Go figure. Like, so, or you're going to Extreme OSL it. Those are really the. So I like the idea of, picking something people aren't looking at or I don't see a ton of.
Right.
Because that gives me an idea to be the first one to come up with an idea.
It was like no one thinks to submit that model
Yeah.
for a competition.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Yep.
Gotcha. How many Angrons do you think we'll see this year?
Well, we had 6 last year, all lined up, and similar the year before, because he's going on his 3rd year here. I could see. I think it's just one of those that lends itself to painters of a vast variety of experience levels, because the red and black is just striking. Red, black, brass, whatever. I think a lot of people are comfortable with those, and then of course you have some people who push it to a really high level. Last year, and this isn't to the discredit of any of the people who submitted one, we didn't see one make it very far. They were all maybe a lower experience level, so I'd love to see one that's pushed to the 9s. But Primarchs in general are just...
Fulgrim?
Fulgrim, I think. At Essen, we're going to see a few, and at next Adepticon, I certainly think we're going to see some. The Primarchs just lend themselves to people wanting to tackle them. And I don't think Games Workshop's averse to seeing more takes on those characters.
Because it also inspires people to get them. That's a big thing.
It inspires people to buy them.
Yeah.
Some people will buy the same model multiple times. Like I saw one guy who did like Magnus 4 times, 4 radically different paint jobs each time, but it was because he wanted a different color theory each time.
Oh, that's crazy.
Different light source each time. Yeah. And some people do that. And those big models are like that. Because when you're talking about players, people are only going to own one, but the artist might get.
Right.
But you're right. I think it inspires people to do it. And so, I don't know. And we're starting to see some of the stuff for Essen, which is in October.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to see people online showing off their work, and it's always super motivating.
Yeah.
It is. And as far as like a lot of people ask a how-to. They'll ask the artist in a Q&A session, because now some of these people do feedbacks. They'll do feedback live streams, like Get Good Guys do that. Eric Swinson does that. And they'll always ask a how-to. And it's one thing to have someone explain how they did it. And I think that's important. It gives people new tools to work with. But I'm also of the belief that whatever you had to do to get to the end result, whatever method you needed to do to get there, if you need to do a mix of slap chop and oils and airbrush and whatever to get there, or you just stipple it from beginning to end, however you get there I don't think, whatever it takes for you to get there, get the result you need. Yeah. That said, I also love to teach people how to do things. I get excited when we used to do that on our paint nights, and
So maybe you should get back into that.
some sort of continued paint night.
Yeah. So like you said, feedback is nice, but tailored feedback, immediate feedback is also very important. I think that's very valuable for, if you go to classes. Get taught how to do something similar, something basic, getting feedback immediate.
And respect the teacher, because like I've seen it where someone will walk up and then just show them the whole catalog of pictures in their phone and ask for feedback. Oh, it's like, this teacher's only got so much time. Come on. But if you're asking for feedback on the thing they're teaching right there, and then you both just start geeking out inside, that's great. Yeah, I will go to classes even if it's like a subject that it's like, well, I know how to do this my way.
But how do they do it?
Yeah. And then when they're looking at what I'm doing, what do they see that I don't? Getting that perspective you don't have, super valuable. I actually am taking a class at Nova one of the days I'm there. And so that'll be the same thing. It'll be like, it's a subject I know, but this is one of the best painters in the world teaching it, and I can go and learn an angle on it that I wouldn't have otherwise thought about. Yeah. So love that. Yeah. But I think it's that way for anybody. I think if you're an accomplished cook or chef, you could still learn from another one.
Right. Even making something you're
go to a Michelin star restaurant, eat, and then ask them questions. Right. Yeah.
Fine, I will.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right.
Thanks for joining. We hope you enjoyed. Follow us for more of our weekly episodes on YouTube podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. You can follow myself and Llama on Instagram. We are at Llama Paints Minis and Hyena Paints Minis. Music provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.